Okay, this isn't even all of them, but I'd love for you to join me while we take a look at the last 10 years of the designs that I've done. All right, so let's get this party started, shall we? I'm going to go through as many designs as I can that I physically own. Some of them I don't, but I'm going to start with the one that started it all. If you know the order these are supposed to be in, then great for you. I just didn't keep that great of records because it just was never something super important to me, and it still isn't, to be honest. We're going to start with when it started it all, and then we're going to move to the best of my memory up to recent designs. So let's get started. The very first style that I made was a simple single string design, and you can still buy this today. I still sell this design. It is called the starter kit, so it's on the website right now. You can go get it. This is a vegetable tan leather, hand dyed by me. The inside was dyed as well as the outside. You can see that this one has quite a few wrinkles, and yeah, it's nice and shiny though because I like to polish my leather goods. But that's all it is to it. It has the brad in the back to keep the elastic in place. And you might think that this would cause a bump when you're writing, but really it doesn't. Maybe on the very last pages. Otherwise, it's just fine. And I have in here 3 pretty thick notebooks, and they stay in there just fine. So this is the beginning. This is where it all began. This is the style that I first started with. This is the creme leather in the chocolate color, and this is my Louie. Allie Brown has one she calls Levy, but they're essentially the same notebook. But I started experimenting with adding additional elastics, and this one has that, even though I only have 1 elastic in here. This is a charm that Allie Brown made for me and gave me as a gift. This is my original notebook. It has all of my original stuff in it. It has this folder in it that held my, like, this receipt is from May 27th, 2014. So that's hilarious. But yeah, it has all the original stuff in there. Oops, that elastic. This rubber band just broke because they don't last forever. But yeah, so my journal is in there, some stickers. This is just a folder I made out of a manila envelope. And then my art journal is in here. So that helped me a lot. And then this is also a journal. But the elastic broke. I'll have to fix this, but all 3 of these were in here, and you can see the discoloration on the leather, and I've just had it forever. And the elastic's getting really flimsy. It needs to be replaced. But yeah, so that was the second design that I made. And then by the end of 2014, I bought a sewing machine, for a leather sewing machine, because I knew I wanted to add pockets to things, and I had tried to hand stitch a tote bag, and I had such bad pain in my hands after that. I couldn't use my hands for 4 days, and so I knew I couldn't hand stitch them, so saved up and I bought a leather sewing machine. And this is basically the design here. This leather, because I know everyone always wants to know, this leather is Austin Moreland, and it is still sold on the website. You can still buy it, not in this design, but you can still buy the leather. This is the Heritage design, and it's the first pocket design that I was happy with. You can see that it has the scalloped edges. The pen loop is modern. The old pen loop used to just fold in like that, and then you would fold it out and put your pen in it, but it would cause a bump in the back, and a lot of people didn't like that, including me. But yeah, and then I moved the elastic to the middle, and everyone really loved that, including me. So that was a win. It took me a couple months to come up with this design though, because it's not as easy as it looks. It actually was quite challenging, but I managed to do it and it was a hit. Everyone loved having pockets in their notebook, and I called it a deluxe. That's what it was called. It was called the deluxe design. So that's basically the second design. All right. And then let me see if I can put these out here so that they're in frame, but not really in frame. I just want to keep track. Okay. And then not long after that, I started making folios, especially for the Hobonichis, because Hobonichis were really starting to take off here in the US. And this leather is Cody. Oops. This is Cody leather, and this is just a folio, nothing fancy about it. And this is antique brown, also nothing fancy. It's just a folio. A folio, by the way, is just a book cover. It's a book cover, and it's called a folio because it basically is a single piece of leather that folds in half. So, and Cody, I love Cody. I don't think we have any more, maybe in overstock, but definitely nowhere else. So the folios started coming out around that time as well. And I think I had a challenge with a lot of extra leather, and I didn't really know what to do with all these little pieces. So we started making nanos, which are super cute. People use them for little wallets, or they'll put little notebooks in them and have a place to jot down thoughts and randomness. This one is a modern leather. This is the Carrie Harling Violet, or just plain Violet, in the Austin collection. And they're tiny, they're super cute, they're very popular. Even to this day, they're still very popular. Oh no, I just got that popular song stuck in my head. Not long after that, we started making the Sidekick. This is a modern one, but this is what they look like even back then. And they have this front pocket here. This one's made out of calf skin. And I never sold these out of calf skin. They were always out of Italian glove leather is what they were made out of. But you see how this pen loop is? That's how they were originally. And they have a tendency, this one won't because it's so thick here, but they had a tendency to really make it bulge back here. And a lot of people didn't really care for that, and I don't blame them. I didn't like that either. But, you know, I did what I knew how to do at the time, and I know how to do better things now. So now I don't even like a pen loop, but back then I sure did. So yeah, the Sidekick came out not long after that. Great design, very popular. It is in the personal size, which is a size that I accredit to myself. You can go and watch many videos where I talk about where that came from. I didn't know that personal was a size for ring binders, so I named it personal after the personal checkbook. So that's a little fresh update. And here's another one, also modern, but this is actually the size of the original. As you can see, it's slightly smaller than the current one, but this is, you know, that's a full one. This is my personal one that I use in the Mariposa leather, which is still available, by the way. So yeah, so Sidekick came out around that time. And then I think it was close to or right after that I started doing the Cascade pockets. And so, and have a little notebook stuck in here. You can do that, by the way. You can stick notebooks that aren't the same size in the planner, and it works out just fine. But yeah, Cascade came out not long after that. And then that's when I came up with the pen loop right here for your pens to go in, that was included in the pocket so that it wouldn't cause an extra bulge. And you can tuck it in like this once you get a pen in it. Of course, I don't really have a pen handy, but I do have this one. But once you put your pen in, you can push it up and out of the way if you want to. And then it will ride. You put the way it works is you put it in like that, and then you put the elastic over top. I see a lot of people that will put it in and have it outside of the elastic. I recommend that you put the elastic over top your pen because it helps keep it from snagging on things in your bag, and it keeps your pen from sticking out like that. Always put the elastic over top. And this leather is creme brulee, and it is still available to this day. This exact design actually is available. The size is a narrow, which is the standard Midori / traveler's notebook size. So that's that one. Love the Cascade. Everyone loved the Cascade. The pockets were great, and if you love decorating your pockets, then that's a super great design. And then the number 5 came shortly thereafter. And this is not the original number 5 because I don't have that leather anymore. But this is the design. Okay, so it has like these envelope shaped pockets on here, and here you can put a notebook underneath like I just had. You can stick this underneath there, slide it in, and then you can have a notebook here, and you can have notebooks on the string. You can put cards here, or you can decorate them, put little ephemera for your planning and stickers and whatever you want. It's very accommodating for your needs. It has a spine reinforcement so to help keep the spine nice and square. And if you notice, there's no holes out here, so you don't even see the elastics for the notebooks. The elastics are on the inside, and that is how that design is. This was called the E-Class, and I don't have that leather anymore, so I can't show you the original leather, but the original leather was quite shiny, similar to Outlander or Austin. It was really shiny. It was nice. It was also an Italian leather, I believe, but it was really beautiful. This leather right here is called Strider, and we are all out of Strider. There is no more. But yeah, so that's that one. That's number 5. Okay. We also started making hand stitched journals. Okay, so these, and I'm currently using one of these as a sketchbook, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, so these ones here are handmade, hand stitched in, and it's a trifold that goes in like this, and you just carry it around like that. It's not a traveler's notebook or a book cover. It's just a hand-stitched journal, which is beautiful. It comes in two sizes, half letter or A5 and A6, which is what this little cutie patootie is right here. I personally love these. I'm, like I said, using one as a sketchbook right now, and I think they're beautiful. This is that's what they look like on the outside. And that came out sometime around, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And then the number 7 with a removable pen loop that caused so much drama. Oh my goodness. I think I might have offered the removable pen loop for maybe a month before I took it down because everyone hated it so much. I never got so much hate in my life over a design ever. But you know what? It is what it is. This is a prototype for it, and as you can see, the pen loop is, you can take it out and you can put it back in. But I did that because some people really liked having a pen loop and other people hated having a pen loop and didn't want it. And I thought, oh, if I have a removable pen loop, then everybody's happy because you can either have one or not have one. I was wrong. Everybody hated it. That was just a total flop of a design. And then number 7, this was a prototype for it, and this was the final product. I wanted it to be all one piece because I wanted it to be the same thickness all the way around the edge. Because prior to that, and now these ones don't do it, of course they don't, because I don't have any that did it, but it would make it uneven thickness all the way around the edge, and I didn't like that. I wanted it to be all the same. And so that was the challenge I had given myself, and I had gone through probably 5 different renditions of the number 7 to get here, but I did stick with the the pen loop because I thought it was a great idea. Boy, was I wrong. Like, even people accused me of forcing it on people. Like, forcing it. I didn't force it, and I pulled it pretty much within weeks of launching it because nobody liked it. So I hear you loud and clear. But yeah, so the number 7, you can also fit a notebook back here. And this notebook might not be the right size for that, but you can fit a notebook back there and on the strings. And then of course you have your pockets here. And the outside looks like a normal tan. And if you don't like the pen loop, you could just pull it out and then you don't have to have a pen loop. But I don't know, I must not have done a good job explaining it or something, but folks did not like this, and they probably still don't like it. Some of them, a few, did like it and appreciate it, so that's good. So, but that was the number 7. And then I got to work trying the number 8, which this is, by the way, this is Express in the color Orient, and this is Outlander in the color Fergus. And they're both size B6, I think. All right, but number 8. This is a prototype for the number 8. The leather is called January. And I have a bunch of stuff in it because I actually use it. But I had taken the pockets up here and divided them in half. And I thought, ooh, that'll be good. And then the down here pockets are all the same. They're full of stuff, but you'll see in another one. And it has the elastics here, and then I thought this would make a good pen loop. Just stick your pen in there and you're all set and ready to go. Like that. I really liked this, but I wanted it to look a little different. I didn't want it to look like every other notebook that I have made to this point. So I thought, why not add a strap? So I did. I added a snap and a strap, and I changed the look of the pockets. I made them curved instead of pointed. This design came in only one size. It came in the extra wide size, which means that it would hold inserts that are 5 inches wide and a little bit wider. And then for the pen loop, I did like this teardrop cutout, and it works the same way. So you just stick in there and then your pen is safe. I love this design. I'm very happy with this design. I still use this every day. I use this one as well, but I use this constantly and I love it. This leather, by the way, is patina. That is a year old. And it started out really pale, and now it's practically the same color as January. January's a little more orange and a little darker, but yeah, so that was the number 8. And then I came with the number 9. Now, the number 9, I had done the composition style before, but it wasn't quite like this. And so this is like a redo of the composition book. So it's a redo of that. And I did the number 8 style pockets in it. And basically it's a folio for a composition or a B5 size notebook. So it has this big piece back here so that you have a nice writing area. And then you can put your B5 notebook in there. And this leather, by the way, is Cody. And I love it. I've had this one for quite a while. I use it constantly as well, which that's an example of what when in use might look like, depending on how you use it, but that's the number 9. And I really like the snap, so I decided to do a snap again for the number 10. This leather is Strider. So for the number 10, I just made it very simple. I used the Cascade style pocket here. I added leather strips here and included the holes in them so that you could still use it as a traveler's notebook, but it would have that clean edge on the outside and there would be no holes. I wanted it to look really clean. Right, this is the sterling inked Common Planner Folio that fits in there just great. And this is the B6 size. So that was the number 10. And the number 10, probably by far one of the more popular designs that I've done. Really love it. And most of you love it as well. Some of you are like, I don't snap though, because you want to have the ability to really chunk up your notebook with an elastic, or you just don't like snaps. And that's totally cool with me. I have loved making all of these. Just absolutely loved every aspect of it. This is what I love most about my job, is making all of these different designs and getting to share them with people that love them and appreciate them. It just makes me feel like I'm contributing to joy in the world. And I really can't think of, a more rewarding way to get to come to work. Because I get to come to work and I get to spread joy. And to me, that's pretty amazing. I know I'm not an over-the-top, over-exuberant type of person. But trust me, I'm screaming with joy inside. I really am. And the next design is going to be the number 11. And I'm going to share the prototype with you so that you can see what's happening. This is, again, in the personal size. And it's very simple. I went back to basics because I didn't want something overly complicated, and lately I have needed simple in my life. So that is what I gave here. So there is a pocket right here that you can put, this is a bookmark, but you can slip whatever you need to slip in there. The inside of this, by the way, is Strider. I made it from whatever I could find in the remnant bin. And it has personal size inserts on the elastics, and then a personal size notebook in the back pocket. Okay. And a snap. Now what's going to be different about this, that rather than the number 8 and the number 10, which have snaps, which I love the snap, right, is I'm going to offer the option of having it without snaps. So you could get it in the Cascade shell. Okay, so the Cascade shell, which is this one. So any size that it will come in the Cascade, you can get it in that, and it will have the elastic instead of the strap, or you can get it in the number 10 shell, which will give you the snap. The inside will be the same no matter what shell you pick. And also I'm really thinking about offering the ability for you to have a different color on the inside. I haven't figured out the logistics of that yet because it's complicated. Getting those options set up is a little bit complicated, but I'm trying to figure out how I can do that to where you can have a different outside. Like this is the Gemini turquoise outside, and yes, you can still get that on the website. So turquoise on the outside and Strider on the inside, which I absolutely adore. Absolutely adore. Yeah, so that is what I'm thinking for number 11. 11. Thank you for sticking around all this time and going through all these designs with me, because I wanted to show this to you, but I didn't want to tell you that I was going to show you. So if you stuck around this far, then you got to see something that almost everyone else sped on by because they didn't want to sit through a long, boring video. And I don't blame them. I don't like long, boring videos either. But I happen to be excited about this kind of stuff. And if you're like me, then you're also excited about this kind of stuff because I love each and every one of these. Most of them I use. I don't use these ones. These ones I brought out to show you. I also don't use this one. Let me show you all the ones that I'm using. I do use this one, but at the moment, my notebook for that one is stuck somewhere else. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. I swap between these two. Yeah. Then I use this one. And I don't use this one, but it does This is my original, so I don't touch it. It just sits. It's pretty, but I still own that one. And I own this one is the same deal as that one, so that they just sit there. By the way, this number, in case you were wondering, that is the lot number for when the leather makers make it into leather. All right, now these are all great and everything, but really what's important is what you do inside of the notebook. So if you would like to see how I goal plan, then go check out this video right here, because that's more important than what's on the outside.